All right now.
Patrick Mahomes is basically God playing quarterback.
Chiefs Kingdom
Live!
They want it. They want it.
Now, when it's grim, be the Grim Reaper. Go get it.
That's a different cheer right there, baby.
Yeah, we're not having a snowball fight.
He'll get handled when he gets handled.
The Lombardi Trophy has a red and gold reflection. Touchdown! Kansas City! One of the greatest duos in the history of the National Football League. Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelce.
Do it live!
Let's go! You gotta fight for your right to party!
Howdy, Chiefs Kingdom. It's Wednesday. It's 8 o'clock. It's Chiefs Kingdom Live. Thank you so much for joining us. If you would, real quick, before you forget, make sure you click or tap that like and click or tap that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications so we don't miss you when we go live. Maybe tell some friends, tell some family members, tell some Chiefs fans, help spread the word. We'd really appreciate it. Got a good show for everybody tonight. First win of the season. Chiefs are back in the W column. Feels good. We're going to talk about that win against the Giants in New York City. We're going to look ahead to the Ravens. I was just thinking that. We're going to look ahead to the Ravens game. That's a big matchup, man. Super important game for both teams at Arrowhead this weekend. So we're going to talk about that. But before we get into it, no Bo tonight. He's a little under the weather. He's feeling sick, so he said he might show up in the chat here. So keep an eye out for him there. Nick, how are you doing?
It sounds like I'm doing better than Bo, so I got that going for me. Yeah, dude, I'm good. Chiefs are in the W column, so I mean it's a relief, right? 0-3 is a lot different than 0-2. We're 1-2.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, 0-3 wouldn't have been a death sentence, but man,
his name and he appears.
There he is, right there. Say his name 3 times in the mirror. Feels good to win, man. Winning is more fun than losing. And big difference, like you said, between being 1-2 and 0-3. Again, 0-3, it wouldn't have been curtains on the season, but that's a deep hole to dig out of, especially when you look at kind of the opponents coming up here. Like you just said, the Ravens, who maybe underperforming a little bit, but still definitely a good team and a good opponent. Lions on deck coming up here. Chiefs are playing some pretty good teams, so definitely needed that win. Chiefs pull it out in New York City on prime time. What was the final score of that game? 22-9, I want to say.
22-9.
22-9. Kind of a unique football score there, not the old 27-17.
It was a unique game, Scotty.
It was a unique game. I know how you felt overall watching the game because I was sitting there next to you watching it, but tell the viewing audience at home or wherever they may be, just overall thoughts and feelings about watching that game against the Giants.
Yeah, I mean, watching football is kind of like driving your car. Sometimes, you're driving through the mountains and it's beautiful and you just, can't believe that you're surrounded by such beauty. Sometimes, you're stuck in traffic in a crappy part of town and you just got to get through it and get to your destination. And I think that the Chiefs-Giants game, for the most part, was more of the latter, especially in the first half. It was good. It seemed like the Chiefs kind of righted the ship there at the end. We had some high points there. It looks like Tyquan Thornton, it continues to be a guy that can get open down the field. Made some spectacular catches. Looks like him and Patrick maybe are getting more on the same page as the weeks go on. So it's just there were some bright spots. There was some very strange plays. You don't see every week in the NFL. But the Chiefs got through it. They won. if you think about it, the Chiefs, it was a pretty ugly game for a good portion of it, and they still won 22-9, which is a pretty solid score. So I'll take it.
Right. Yeah, tale of two halves. The first half was
Right.
just, man, that was like pulling teeth watching that first half, man. And social media, people all over online were talking about the chore it was to watch that football game in the first half. But Chiefs turned around the second half. Yeah, it was frustrating and rewarding all at the same time because they got the win. Look, man, basically a 2-touchdown win. Butker missed some kicks, or else it would have been right a bigger margin of victory. But even if you're playing a bad team on the road, man, winning by 2 touchdowns is still good. I mean, what stood out to you the most about that game, good or bad?
Probably what stood out to me the most is, despite the fact that he will sometimes have a little bit of a slump, like Patrick just will do whatever it takes to win a football game. Like whether that's, going for like rushing for 12 yards or 14 yards on 3rd and 12. And I know that got called back, or literally like stealing the freaking ball out of a defender's hands as he's about to for a touchdown. When everybody else on the team seems to be standing around, right? Like, just that's the thing that really stands out is like his will to win and to keep fighting, right? Like, despite the fact that he had some bad misses on his throws, to at the end of the game just keep going downfield and getting that connection right. That's really kind of my big takeaway. And as long as you have that in your quarterback, like, just stay off of Twitter because it seems like a lot of the people
that's probably pretty good advice for most things, but
in general, right, for life. But I'm just saying, like, it seems like there's a lot of people you can tell have been watching the Chiefs for the last 7 years that are Chiefs accounts on there because you would think that like it's the worst team we've ever fielded,
right,
in the history of forever. And so I think that we're going to be okay. That was kind of my big takeaway. Like, I think the Chiefs are going to be okay.
Yeah. I guess my biggest takeaway was it reminded me of the first game of the year against the Chargers. That Chiefs come out flat, making mistakes, not playing well, not executing in the first half. And then I don't know if it was Patrick or Andy or what is going on at halftime, but they came out in the second half reinvigorated and much sharper and definitely looked like they had more focus. I don't know whatever you're doing at halftime. Maybe you can do that before the game moving forward. But it was just that contrast, man. And we had seen it earlier this year in the season opener in Brazil against the Chargers. Chiefs were able to overcome, though. Obviously, not as good of an opponent as Week 1 in the Los Angeles Chargers. So the slow start in the first half and the mistakes and the miscues didn't end up hurting them and costing them like it did there a couple weeks ago. Nick, you mentioned Tyquan Thornton, man. The guy is getting open downfield, even when he's not open. I mean, some of those plays were, I'm not like trying to compare the guy to Tyreek Hill, but they were Tyreek Hill-esque, and it was like the old, remember the old meme, like F it, Tyreek down there somewhere, just going to chuck it up there.
That long touchdown was definitely, let's just see what happens, right?
Right, and we saw it in the Eagles game with him, right? He was just kind of throwing it up and saying, go make a play and go get it, and he's been doing that, and he's been making plays. I know he had the bad drop on the first one there that I'm pretty sure would have been a touchdown, but then Patrick it was like the next play, right? Goes right back to him.
Well, exact same spot on the field, too.
The guy's making catches on 3rd down. I mean, just how impressive has he been? And, I mean, I don't want to say the guy's saving the season, but he's stepped up when they've been down. Obviously, Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice struggling in the run game. That guy has been the playmaker for this team so far, right?
Yeah, 100%. If you've been online, Patriots fans are just like, do what? Like,
right?
Yeah. Where'd this come from? Right? They didn't see it coming, and so kudos to him on getting cut from the Patriots, getting signed by the Chiefs, getting a spot, and making the most out of his opportunity. But yeah, he's definitely been the brightest spot, right? We've had some other bright spots, like I think Noah Gray had a couple of pretty good plays, and we've had some, Juju, but it's really been like the plodding long drives haven't worked out all that great, especially with our kicking game kind of being not very good right now, and
Subpar.
yeah, I mean suboptimal, right? But I just his emergence has been interesting to see because we don't have anything else too, right? I mean, we don't have any other deep threats, and so I don't know if they're just like they just think that they can get away with kind of having one-on-one coverage down the field with him. It'll be interesting to see now that he's getting a lot of targets downfield and he's shown that he can catch the ball and track it pretty well. How defenses adjust. The good news for this upcoming week is it doesn't look like the Ravens defense has a lot going on for him right now. So hopefully, we can continue that trend. But with Xavier Worthy going out on the third play of the season, it's definitely been great to see him step into that role. And we've seen, in seasons past where we were hoping that other players would make that step and they haven't. And so it's been really valuable for the Chiefs.
Yeah, props to that guy for stepping up in the time of need, man. And when like you said, there's really not a whole lot else going on. Juju made some nice plays, and Patrick obviously is gonna make his plays, but the emergence of Thornton, man, has, like I said, I don't want to say a season saver, but he's bailed this team out a lot. Like I said, he's catching the ball on third downs, he's getting first downs. Patrick trusted him to chuck down there. I feel like he's what we all thought Justin Ross was going to be, right? The training camp off-season hero, Hall of Famer that then kind of just disappears in the regular season. Tyquan Thornton has been able to capture that training camp magic or whatever you want to call it, and been able to produce that right and here in the regular season. Which there's been guys, and I'm trying to think, not just Justin Ross, there's another wide receiver that a couple of years ago, gosh, what was that guy's name? But anyway, it was just, we saw it, like you said, in the offseason, and then when the regular season rolls around, it's kind of the MIA. It's not been the case with Thornton, and the guy was, key part, right, and helping the Chiefs avoid that 0-3 start that you definitely don't want to find yourself in. You don't want to be in that spot. Juju, he had a nice game. There was, I want to say, a 3rd and 17 where he picked up like 20 yards. Maybe it was 3rd and 15. He picked up 17 or 18 yards. He's been stepping up. He's kind of been reliable. It's kind of like, I don't want to say replace Kelsey is Patrick's safety valve, but he's kind of stepped up and been that guy to maybe not make the big, long downfield, the big highlight reel plays, but doing the dirty work in the middle of the field there, getting the yak, helping the Chiefs, keep drives alive and pick up first downs. He seems like he's kind of emerged as the leader of the team. For a guy whose knee was a ticking time bomb, or has been a ticking time bomb for the last, how many years was that? Was when he was with the Patriots, right? Everybody was talking about, his knee is getting ready to explode.
Since the year after the first Eagles Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think it was even going back before that, right? But when he was,
his knee was hurt in that Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's right. He left here and went to New England, and then came back. How big has that guy been, man? Juju been playing pretty good.
Yeah, again, somebody that can step up. And another guy that was cut by the Patriots. So it's kind of interesting to see. It's really interesting to see guys that can't make it on a team, right? And then, we saw the same thing with Mecole Hardman with the Jets, where he went to the Jets, didn't see the field. We traded for him, and then he has the walk off in the Super Bowl. Right now, I think he's on somebody's. He got cut from somebody's practice squad.
Yeah, today, Green Bay.
Yeah. So I just. It's really interesting to see that the Chiefs can do it with these players where no other teams seem to be able to do much with them, and it really kind of shows the state of our wide receiving core where we're kind of depending on some of these guys that were cast off, or from, I hate saying garbage heap because that's not very nice to players, but like the guys that were cast away from other teams coming here and having success, and it gives me hope for when the receiving core is healthy, right? It's like now we've got Thornton and Mahomes are going to have that rapport in addition to Rice and and Worthy coming back, and it just really gives me like hope that we're going to have a pretty potent offense here mid-season.
Yeah, you'd think the Xavier Worthy coming back, and then when Rashee Rice gets back, that's going to draw some attention away from Tyquan Thornton, and teams maybe haven't been focusing on him, but he's got their attention now. And I think you can see him be, I don't know, some people compared him to maybe like a Justin Watson type guy, or maybe even like a Sammy Watkins role, a really, really good third receiver that you can count on. And maybe some big situations, or like I said, third downs. Maybe like I said, Rashee Rice coming back. I'm really looking forward to seeing what that guy can do when he comes back. But yeah, I don't see this as being like once those two guys come back, he's going to disappear. It gives me hope too. Kind of like you were saying that he can continue to produce and help this offense be successful when the big dogs, like the big guns, come back. Bo in there. Packers cut McCole Hardman. Don't do it. Don't do it, Brett. I know. He was looking at his phone when he heard, hey, McCole Hardman got cut. Like, man, we got room on our practice squad.
What do you think, Andy?
Yeah, I don't know, man. McCole Hardman, man, multiple I got won 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Had the walk-off, man. I mean, there's a lot of guys that don't get that
more rings than Peyton Manning.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of guys that don't get that career in the NFL or get those moments. So I don't know if this is the end for McCole, but if it is, it's a hell of a career, man. And he carved himself out a nice role and a nice slice of that NFL pie. Offense, the running game, some really peculiar plays, I guess is one way to say it. Isaiah Pacheco, Kareem Hunt has been decent. He's a guy that, he's averaging like 3.2 yards per carry, and Pacheco is averaging 3.7. But I mean, when they're bringing in Kareem, it's to get 1 or 2 yards, right? And so I don't think Kareem has that burst. We saw a little bit of Brashard Smith, Elijah Mitchell inactive again. There was some flashes, and Pacheco had a couple nice runs, but then there was, like I said, there's a couple just plays where just total head scratcher, like what the guy's doing. Chiefs running back room, I mean, how concerned are you about the run game? I mean, do they need to bring somebody else in? Do you want to see a guy like maybe Mitchell, just give him a shot, put him in there and see what he does? You ride with Pacheco for another couple games here? I mean, what would you do?
If it were up to me, I mean, I would make a change, and I'd be trying to trade for somebody, in a team that is 0-3 and doesn't look like they have hope, that might be willing to get, to look at draft capital early. That said, I mean, it's one thing to not be effective at getting, rushing the ball, and to be averaging, less than 4 yards a carry in this game is not what we're looking for, right?
No.
And so, unless, like you said, you're a third down back, Kareem's in, he's in for pass protection, and he's in for 3rd and 1, and we want him to get 2 yards. And if he gets 2 yards, then we're happy, right? We're gonna give him the ball at the 1 yard line, and he's gonna get in the end zone on the first try. Those sorts of things, like, I'm okay having a guy that isn't running for 4.5 yards a carry, but on top of not producing, and really maybe not, like, there are plays where it looks like Pacheco's left some yards on the field, at least in my eyes, where I would expect that maybe he would get some more yards. I'm sure that there's people that know more than I do, and I haven't looked at those statistics to see if how he's doing compared to like his blocking and everything. But to then also have like where Patrick throws a backwards pass, you pick it up and he's throwing it down on the ground, it's like still technically a live ball, or turning around the wrong way and kind of running backwards 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage towards your own end zone. Like, and those are not mistakes that we can afford right now with from our starters, right? When we have other guys that are not on the field for various reasons. Like, we talked about Tyquan Thornton stepping up. We need the other guys to step up, and I just really haven't seen it from Pop this year. And so I would say that we've got to make some kind of change at running back, and see. I mean, just get some kind of flash, whether that's the guy we drafted or Elijah Mitchell that we signed, like, or trading for somebody. Like, I've been banging this drum since the offseason. Like, we should have drafted somebody in the middle rounds. It was a good running back draft. Like the Chiefs just kind of seem to refuse to upgrade or care about the run game. And, Patrick Mahomes has the most rushing yards out of any of the quarterbacks this year, right? So far, like, and that's just not sustainable for this team. And that's not what you want Patrick to be doing at 30 years old. If he was 23 still, like, and he was leading the league in rushing at QB, then we'd probably be like, okay, well, but like, let's not, it's not a good long-term plan. At 30, that's just dangerous. And that's putting, the season in Patrick in jeopardy. So we've got to do something there, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. I just see what these other guys got, man. I don't know if it's coming off injury. Look, Pacheco he's not ever been like a running back with the best vision, or I mean, we've talked about it on this show too. I just, like, he doesn't strike fear into the defense. I know a lot of people say he runs angry and he stomps the ground. Look, it's a great story, man. The guy's a 7th round draft pick. He was the starting running back on this team for back-to-back Super Bowl championships. But the Chiefs, like, they need to get better at that. And I don't know. It just feels like maybe like they just one of these guys are like they're just going to stick with for too long. And outside of that 1 year where I want to say he had a little over 1,000 yards rushing and receiving, that took quite a few touches, right? And the team had more options. You had a younger Travis Kelce, right? So you just didn't need like a home run hitter in the backfield. But, you just watch these other games and you see running backs like Nick Chubb last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Had a 30-yard touchdown run. I think Pacheco's had 2 runs, maybe 3 his entire career that were over 30 or 40 yards. I don't think he's cracked 50 yards once. So you brought and listen, the coaching staff, they see these guys, right? Mitchell looked like he had some juice in the preseason, but I just feel like it can't be worse than what you're getting now, can it?
No, and it really, like, if you look at, they were talking about Patrick's red zone, passer rating or QBR or whatever it was, and it was like whatever it was 0. And you look at like the red zone problems that we have, and like when you're at the 10 and you've got 0 chance of scoring a touchdown running the ball, like, that makes it a lot easier for the defense. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And like you just don't have a guy, like, if we're at the 12-yard line, like, I don't ever sit there and think like when we hand the ball off that we could get a touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not in the cards. We're not going to get more than 2 or 3 yards. And so, the thing I'll say in defense of Pacheco and the Chiefs is that the Chiefs have had massive dividends paid by players that they showed faith in when they were struggling in the season. They had it happen with MVS. They had it happen with Mecole Hardman. Guys that had issues and came through in crucial moments. Sky Moore, right, on kick return, right? Like, so do they stick with guys too long? I would say yes. I think so. But I would say that, it has paid off for them where they've showed faith in guys. And then in those biggest moments, like, they've come through and they've, made plays when they had in other, similar spots. So that might just be luck, maybe that's just lucky. But I think that there may be something to that they have a little bit longer term vision, and they're not going to just flush somebody because of a few bad games. So
Yeah, but like even before the injury last year, Pacheco, he didn't.
Sure.
He didn't look great, and when he came back from the injury, he looked even less great. And then now he has not looked very good here in the first 3 games of this year. I don't know. I mean, and maybe once Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy come back, that takes some pressure off of that, and you can carry a less than stellar running back room. But right now, man, it's hurting the offense. You don't have a guy that you can hand the ball off to and
yeah, for sure,
get you in 2nd and 2, right? I mean, and just running into the back of blockers, and just some of the decision making. When they throw the ball out to him in the flat, he doesn't look like he can make anybody miss either in the open field. I know he's a guy that's like invited contact and been an aggressive guy, but it's just almost like, I mean, I throw a ball out to him and he's getting tackled right away, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, you look at Scattaboo in that game, right? Inviting contact, but getting yards after that contact, and there's just no threat of that with the Chiefs rushing attack right now.
Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, I think they should explore other options and see what's available and what they could do. I mean, they've got to upgrade at that position, man. The other teams in the league that have a good running back, it looks a lot easier for them on offense, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's how the Lions killed the Ravens, right? Is with their rushing attack, just like the Ravens' inability to
them over.
yeah, just the inability to stop the rushing attack, just killed them in that game. You look at
I think the Lions were rushing for over 7 yards a carry at one point in that game.
Josh Allen has a run game now to help complement him, and it helps him play better, right? Like, I mean, it opens up a lot, and right now I think it's just putting a lot of pressure on Patrick that they don't have a rushing attack, and it's impacting the entire offense. So.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to stick with Pacheco, hopefully he can get something figured out here. He needs to get it going if he's going to be the lead back. And if he can't, then yeah, definitely they need to be looking elsewhere. Big story of that game was the defense. After a lackluster performance week 1 against the Chargers, these last 2 weeks, granted, no one's going to mistake the Giants offense for the old Dick Vermeil. what do they call that offense that they used to run with Al Saunders? But no one's going to mistake that offense for that. But I mean, Malik Neighbors is a top receiver in this league. They were able to shut him down. Russell Wilson threw for over 400 yards the week before. So is he prime Russell Wilson? Definitely not. He's going to the bench now. His career as a starter might be over, but Chiefs defense, man, they just that's the second week in a row where they were just pretty smothering, right?
Yeah, it was great to see. Aside from some mental mistakes with penalties, the defense played fantastic. The real loser in that game was the Cowboys defense and defensive coordinator, because like I just saw a Giants offense that looked like they gave up at the end of the game. I mean, it just looked like Russell Wilson just gave up on that last drive. He's like, I mean, he air the ball and hit the upright like on 4th down.
He threw the ball away on 4th and goal.
Threw the ball away on 4th down. Like I just.
And he lit up the Cowboys, right?
450 yards.
400 yards.
It's crazy. You go from it's league comes at you fast. You throw for 450 and you're leading the league in passing yards, and then after the next week, like you're getting benched for a rookie. It's a wild turn of events for old Russ there. But hey, he's made a lot of money. But yeah, back to our defense. Yeah, look, I think that the thing that I'm most impressed with is how the pass defense has really tightened things up. From week 1 to week 2 and week 3.
Yeah, they've done a nice job recovering.
Yeah, I mean, that was really concerning, and so I just kudos to that unit in being able to tighten things up, and they're showing, the field, and like there's just nobody open, our pass rush, I think, has has a lot of room for improvement there. But I mean, overall, like when you're holding an opponent on the road to less than 10 points, that's exactly what you're looking for, and you're going to win a lot of football games.
Yeah, look, if the Chiefs defense can, give up 9 points a game. And again, it's the Giants, it's Russell Wilson, but they looked good. They did a good job of shutting down Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. I know he had the one not touchdown run there, but outside of that, they did a good job of keeping some pretty good playmakers at bay. I mean, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, neither of those guys had huge games. So that's going to be huge for them coming up here. They were able to get some pressure too without blitzing. I think they only blitzed like 6 or 7 times, and were able to get a bunch of pressure. Russell Wilson was dropping back. I think not only was it just they were able to smother him, but they got turnovers. Couple turnovers, and 2 of those were terrible passes by Russell Wilson, but the defense capitalized, right? And I want to say they had like a third interception that they dropped. First turnovers of the season. Man, if the Chiefs could continue that, keep playing the way they've been playing, really, really good against the run. And if you could start getting some fumbles and start getting some interceptions into the mix, Chiefs should have one of the better defenses in the NFL this year. You think?
Yeah, I think they're going to be, top 10, if not maybe top 5 unit. So we'll see. I mean, how it goes. We have a tough schedule, so that could impact things, right? When you're playing a lot of the premier teams. I mean, the Chiefs will be.
They're not playing Russell Wilson this weekend again.
They're not. They don't have 2 games against the Jets and the Dolphins, right? That they can pad some stats with, but. Yeah, look, I feel good about our going out with our defense against any team in the league. I think that they've seen it. We have the leadership on the team to not lose their head, not be worried about going up against Derrick Henry, right, or going up against Josh Allen, because they've played those guys. They played those guys in the biggest moments, and they've beaten those guys. And so you have that with one of the, if not one of the greatest, at least one of the most decorated defensive coordinators, right, in the history of the league, right? He's the only coordinator with 4 Super Bowl rings as a coordinator. Spagnuolo, it's the Chiefs defense is looking like it's going to be another solid year for them.
Yeah, and that can help, stem the tide here until reinforcements can come back. Hopefully that happens here coming up this weekend with Xavier Worthy, but yeah, big win, man. And another big game on the horizon, right? At Arrowhead against the Baltimore Ravens. Team that just like we all predicted, 1-2 Chiefs versus 1-2 Ravens at Arrowhead.
Just how we all thought it was going to play out.
The script writers kind of throwing us a curveball there. There's our man John C. Good to see you, John. Hope you're doing good. How you feel about this game against the Ravens? Just kind of overall feelings coming up. It's a big game.
Yeah, it feels like the Chiefs figured something out in the last game, and it feels like the Ravens maybe are getting a little bit further from the mark. So I feel like we're catching them at the right time here. I would have been worried if this had been like a week 2 game, like we had against the Eagles, but. Look, the Ravens are a solid team. We've played them a lot. There's not a lot of mystery between these 2 coaches and these 2 teams. But the good news is it seems like the style of offense that the Ravens like to play matches up very well with the players' skill sets and the defensive coaching staff that we have right on offense. So, so I feel good about our team going up against Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Looks like Derrick Henry's had a couple of fumbles. I'm not going to say that guy's suddenly going to turn into a fumble machine, but if he wants to keep that trend alive, I wouldn't be upset if he did it against us. So yeah, I feel good about this game. We're going up against a defense that looks like they're struggling. Like we were saying, they're really struggling against the run. If we could get a rushing attack going, I think that would help open things up. Nick Wright he's breaking the news that nobody else has announced that Xavier Worthy is definitely
Right.
going to play in this game. So you're looking at Worthy and Thornton going in to this game. Like it's looking like it's going to be favorable for the Chiefs, man. What do you think?
I feel good. The Chiefs historically, and especially here in recent history, have played well against the Ravens in Lamar Jackson era. I want to say Lamar Jackson is 1-5 against the Chiefs in his career. And the one win that they got was a game that the Chiefs had the ball in field goal range with time expiring, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire fumbled the ball and basically gave the game away, or else he'd be looking at 0-6. For whatever reason, the Chiefs just seem like they've got the formula for playing the Ravens. Not that that's any guarantee that they're going to win this week, but if you're a playing team, you'd much rather be looking at facing a team to try to get back to 2-2, especially a good team that you're 5-1 against the last handful of years, rather than maybe a team that you've been 1-5 against in the last handful of seasons. So, yeah, no, I feel good. Chiefs look like they have a much better defense than the Ravens do. The Ravens have I was going to say, I'll say like a better offense right now, but they have a healthier offense, right? They got pretty much all of their guys. But I will say, have you just kind of breaking down the Ravens and the key players? I mean, you mentioned Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Lamar Jackson, to me, I don't know. I remember seeing that maybe he was dealing with some sort of ankle or foot injury in the offseason, and he's been playing, and he's been playing well, and their offense has been scoring points right now. They haven't been playing the best defenses necessarily in the league either, but to me, he does not look as quick. If you watched any or much of the Ravens games this year, like in that Lions game on Monday night, man, there was a couple times where he started to take off and run, and the defender just kind of caught him from behind and tackled him. And it wasn't a sack, but it was only like a 1 or 2 or 3 yard gain. I don't ever remember seeing anybody running down Lamar Jackson from behind once he decides to take off and run. I don't know if there's injury there. I think he's about a year younger than Patrick. I think he's like about to turn 29. Lamar Jackson, how dangerous of a player is he? I mean, you just said you haven't really watched much of their games, so you probably can't speak to maybe necessarily like the way he's looked, but something just doesn't look the same with him in the games of theirs that I've watched this year. I don't know if maybe anybody in the chat has noticed that, but I mean, I don't want to say he's lost a step, and I'm not saying that this is the end of Lamar Jackson, so don't clip this, right? If our man Scream is in the chat
Local
here.
Chiefs podcaster.
Right. Well, local Chiefs podcaster calls Lamar Jackson washed. But and Derrick Henry too, man. You mentioned the fumbles. He had the monster game against the Bills in week 1, but then week 2, I want to say he only had like 30 or 40 yards rushing outside of the one semi-long touchdown run he had against the Lions. He was kind of like held in check. Is that offense maybe aging a little bit? And I mean, Chiefs defense, they got to be looking at that, kind of liking what they're seeing there, right? Maybe not as dominant, those two players.
Yeah, I mean, Father Time's undefeated. There's been a couple of plays where Patrick's gotten caught, and I'm like,
sure, yeah,
he wouldn't have got caught 5 years ago doing that. You know what I mean?
Like spinning out, trying to get away from the defender.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So, when you get older, like you just have to like learn to adjust your game. And it seems like, maybe Lamar, I'm not saying he's getting old, but like, man, it's just like speed goes away fast, like
they sacked him 7 times.
Yeah. When you get sacked 7 times, like you're obviously not doing something right. I mean,
right.
And so, maybe it's trying to be too pass heavy. I don't know. Maybe he's not relying on maybe he's trying to convert his game and throw the ball. Maybe that's why. Maybe if he just took off a little bit sooner, he could have avoided some of those sacks. I don't know. I unfortunately I didn't get to see that game, but look, he's he's 29 and
Still a great player. I mean,
yeah, but there's a lot of film on him. And there's a lot of there's going to be a lot of focus on spying him, right? And there's that people know what they're about. And
right.
to be honest, I think that their offense has been kind of simplistic in its approach for a few years, and I'm like, it seems to work against everybody but the Chiefs, and it's been kind of a head scratcher to me, honestly. Like I don't see why it's so hard to plan against
Right.
a mostly rushing attack. But they block really well, and they had really powerful and fast guys, so it's obviously working. But we'll see, man. I think that the Ravens, look, they got snake bit in that Bills game. They had that game in hand, and it seems
They
like
did.
since that loss, they've been maybe kind of reeling a little bit. Was there one win? Was that against the Browns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, they're kind of in a pretty similar spot to the Chiefs, but again, I just feel like it seems like they've got a lot of question marks on defense, and I just think that in this league, it's much better to have some question marks and trying to figure things out on offense with a solid defense than it is the other way around. I mean,
Yeah.
we've before, it doesn't matter how good you are. You can have the best player in the world throw for 50 touchdowns and 5,000 yards, but he can't go win a Super Bowl outrunning a bad defense. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
So I don't know. It's interesting. We'll see. And I to be honest, I don't know if he's lost a step or not. But it definitely appears like they're not the same team they were a couple of years ago. That's for sure.
There was a play too where he went to shake the defender, and the defender just kind of reached out and bear hugged him, tackled him. I don't know. Something doesn't look the same with him. And again, it could be injury.
Yeah. Maybe he's hurt.
I don't know. I haven't seen him on injury reports, but also I'm not scanning the Ravens injury report every day, each week leading up to the game. So they've, like I said, they've shown that they have the formula and they know how to play the Ravens, man. Both these teams looking to avoid 1-3. I'm glad this game is at home. I think that plays a big factor into it. The Chiefs aren't happy about losing the home opener. They had won, I want to say, 11 straight games at Arrowhead going into that game. So home field advantage, I think, is going to be key.
You going to this one?
I don't think so. I don't think we're going to be out there this weekend. But that might change. You never know. Talked about maybe going with, I think, maybe Lainey wanted to go. But it might be a little warm for her. It'll be 90 to say 87, 88 degrees, sunny. Look, man, there's no relief from that sun when you're sitting out there. And so I haven't decided if I'm going to that game or not. But it's going to be a good one. It's the home field advantage, I think, like I said, is going to help the Chiefs out a lot. Chiefs, do they need to get some offense? Do they need to show some stuff, especially if Xavier Worthy comes back? I mean, do they need to come out and have a 28, 30, maybe plus point performance against maybe a little bit of a reeling Ravens defense?
Look, I think if I had to guess, the magic numbers were around 25 for the Chiefs this week. I think that if they can score more than 25 points, then they're going to win. They could still win if they scored less than 25. I could see us, holding them to, 18, 20 points. But, it's just I would feel more comfortable. And, just also it'd be a good sign of improvement if the Chiefs could, continue that trend. I mean, the Bills put up over 40, right? How many points did the Lions end up scoring? They've scored in the 30s, right?
38, 31,
yeah,
I want to say, something like that.
The Chiefs should be able to and probably need to score at least 25 points, but I don't think they need more than that to win. I don't think they need to score 30 points to win this game.
Yeah, I meant more like for signs of encouragement playing a bad defense, right?
Yeah. I mean, you would like to see with Worthy coming back. He probably won't be in every play,
100%,
right? And 100%, but yeah, I mean, from a progression standpoint, yeah, definitely you'd like to see them be able to put up 30 points. I mean that just is your measuring stick, right? But it depends on how the game goes. I think there's, the Chiefs probably could have scored 30 points against the Giants if they really wanted to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that once they get the game in hand, they don't try to continue to score and run it up. I know Patrick took a deep shot downfield, but I think that's less about scoring and more about him like trying to get another rep throwing a deep ball because he's been having some struggles there. So yeah. I mean, progression wise, I would love to see 30 points. I mean, it would make me feel a lot more comfortable going,
Right.
into the meat of the season that we got coming up. So
yeah, it's we got the Jaguars after that. So which Jaguars, maybe they're a little bit feistier than we thought.
Jags
We
and
got
then the Lions, right?
2-1 record. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Lane and I will be at the Lions Sunday Night Football. I'm pretty sure. So
Oh dang!
be looking forward to that one.
See if Patrick can finally beat Jared Goff.
See if Patrick can finally beat Jared Goff. Look, man, Chiefs can match up, and this is getting way ahead, right? We're talking 2 weeks out now, but I think they can match up with that Lions offense, running the ball.
I think one day we're going to find out that Jared Goff is actually just Ryan Gosling studying for a.
I don't know.
It was like a long con. He's like doing that Daniel Day-Lewis thing because those guys look almost exactly the same.
They do. Has anybody ever seen those two guys in the same place at the same time before? Yeah. I mean, any other keys? Any other thing? I mean, for me, I want to see the defense start getting off the field on 3rd and long. You mentioned the miscues, penalties, stupid stuff. They just still continue to, the good thing is they're getting teams in 2nd and 3rd and long, but man, they can't get off the field. We've been talking about this going back to last year. To me, that's another big key to this thing, man. When you get the Ravens in 3rd and 15, 3rd and 12, 2nd and 20, you need to get off the field on defense because that's a team that, hurt or not, aging or not, Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry and those guys, Zay Flowers, those guys can make you pay and they can burn you and they can obviously score points. They've been scoring them all year. To me, that's like the other big key is going to be, man, like finishing, like getting off the field and stopping drives and not giving teams 2nd and 3rd life here. Going to feel. I mean, anything else stick out to you that you're going to be looking for? You think is critical or key for the Chiefs in this game?
Yeah, you can't let the Ravens beat you rushing the football, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't, like you've got to, John C says it here, stop the big runs. Like you can't let Derrick Henry get going. You can't let Lamar Jackson escape and run for 15, 20 yards when you could sack him. If you could do those two things, I think you're going to have a really successful day because that's what they want to do, right? They are not a team that wants to sit back and have to methodically go down the field or run for 2 or 3 yards of carry and rely heavily on the passing game. That's not who they've been. And on top of that, like if their defense is struggling, and they have we can score and we can keep them from kind of having those quick hitters to catch back up. It becomes demoralizing for their team. So I think that for me, it's really limiting those running plays and making sure that you don't have Derrick Henry get going. Cause that dude, I know, he's old and he's had a couple fumbling problems, but damn, dude, in that Bills game, like he was just running people over again. And it was just like, I don't, I texted you guys like, we need to study that guy and figure out like what's, has he got like some kind of, blood that they could give to me so that like I can walk up the stairs without getting tired,
I mean, outside of that Bills game though, he, I'm not gonna say he's been pedestrian, but
sure.
He's looking a little sore. Can we bring Dan Sorensen back for one game? Can we sign him to a 1-game contract?
Dude, I love that. I love that gift or that play that you.
Yeah, that's
put out on the X account, man.
Tone setter, man.
Decleated
him. You could tell Derrick Henry wasn't used to getting hit like that either. And he hit the ground hard.
You see the Foreman Mormon coming for you.
Right. He hit the ground hard and it was cold and he was slow getting up and he was like, I don't like that. Not liking that. It's hard to believe how long ago that was now. and Derrick Henry's still one of the best running backs in the league. It's crazy to think about. AJ
He's
Brown's
been
on
an
that
incredible
Titans
player.
team too.
And
Yeah,
if you let
definitely an
him, he
incredible player.
will. I mean, he's one of those guys, dude. Like if you
He'll
let him
make you
get
pay.
going, like it's almost impossible to stop him, right?
Right.
So they just, you got to hit him early, and if you can, if he can't get going, then it really just changes the dynamic of who that team is. So
For sure, definitely. Chiefs, man, win this game, you can get back to 2-2. You got to be feeling really good at that point after the 0-2 start. You can. I'm not going to say like you're not going to bury the Ravens, man, but if you can get like you get back to 2-2 and knock them down to 1-3 with the tiebreaker right over them. At that point, you're pretty much just chasing the Bills. I mean, I'm not going to say the season's over or that this is a must-win game, kind of like we talked about last week was a must-win game, but man, winning this game is huge. Chiefs need to figure out a way, right, to win this game.
yeah, if you're looking at winning the division, possibly making a push for a 1 seed, if it's going to be a long shot with the Bills' schedule at this point, I think, but then you've got to win, right? Otherwise, like if you lose and then the Chargers win, man, we're like now at a spot where it's like I don't, maybe even the divisions maybe outrunning us at that point, and we're looking at wild card seeding. So it's a huge game. It's a huge game. I know that there's a lot of games left, but 1-3 is definitely a difficult spot. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
Especially the Chargers playing the Giants this week. They get their turn at the Giants, looking like they're probably going to be starting for. Although I said Jackson Dart's starting for the Giants, so
yeah, you've got to keep pace, right? Yeah, I mean, if you lose and they win, then we're effectively 4 games back, and that's a really tough spot to come back from. It's not impossible, but it's just the percentages are a lot lower there. So so yeah, it's I think there's until the Bills and the Chargers start losing some games, like we're gonna have a lot of must wins coming up because we've already lost those 2. So
right. Look, I'll say this about the Chargers: they're playing well. They had a close game with the Broncos. The Chiefs were a stop away on 3rd down. Chris Jones' mistake, maybe, away from getting the ball with a chance to go down and win that game. And then who's the other win they got against? They beat us. They beat the Broncos.
Did they play the Raiders already?
Yeah, that's right. The Raiders, which
they started out with 3 division games.
Yeah, 3 division games in a row. 2 home games, technically. I mean, the Brazil game was not at home, but so. Yeah, no, big game. Definitely going to get them. But listen, until the Chargers show me that they can just run away, right? We've seen the Chargers be there with the Chiefs or be a game or 2 up on them, go halfway through the season, or they're hanging there. And until they prove to me that Justin Herbert can do it against like really good teams and really good defenses for the course of an entire season, they still got to prove that to me.
Sure. Yeah. No, I agree.
When the pressure gets ratcheted up, right? I mean,
they've got losses coming on their schedule. They're going to lose. They're not going to go undefeated, but
right.
You get in a point where like a position this early where you're down 4 games, like that's going to be tough to make up, especially with what we've seen, from our offensive output. So, so I think it's if you're wanting to stay in the running for the division and potentially high seeding, you got to win, right? I mean, it's just.
I'm going to go score prediction time. Make sure if you're watching, you throw your score prediction up there in the chat. I'm going to say they get to 30. I don't know. Xavier Worthy coming back. The defenses looked suspect. Patrick Mahomes looked like maybe he's figuring some stuff out. The Chiefs always know how to play. The Ravens always seem to score points and play well against them. So I'm going to go 30-21 Chiefs. 9-point win. Nick?
Yeah, I was thinking 27-22 Chiefs.
5-point win.
What do you think about the Chiefs being 3-point underdogs at home against this team? Fair, given the way that they played.
Yeah, look, I mean the Ravens have been scoring and the Chiefs' offense has been struggling. They're both 1-2. Um, I don't know. You could say the Ravens, their losses are maybe better than the Chiefs' losses. Although everybody's talking about the Chargers like they're one of the best teams in the AFC. So I'm
Right.
talking about losses to the Chargers and the Eagles. Those are pretty close to on par with losses to the Bills and the Lions. So and the Chiefs, like I said, being shorthanded and starting 0-2 and kind of struggling to score. I I thought it'd been like more of an even game, right? I thought it would have been maybe like dead money, or maybe the Chiefs would have been like a 1-point favorite. But I mean, it's not surprising. I mean, you surprised they're home underdogs in this game?
No, not really. It's just, to be honest, it's just weird.
Right.
Like, seeing us as underdogs. I mean,
At home.
it's fair. It's just, hopefully they're taking a little bit of offense to that. Looks like Bo's in there at 30-24.
Bo getting his pick in.
Yeah.
Score prediction. Make sure you're following us on social media over there on X. Put up the contest there each week. If you can pick the score prediction right and the Chiefs win, we'll hook you up with some Chiefs gear, some Chiefs goodies. So hook you up with a prize pack. Yeah, big game at Arrowhead, man. I feel good. I feel like I obviously just predicted right the Chiefs to win, but this is a game I think they definitely need to win. I think that they should win, especially like I said against teams that usually play well against at home. But their backs are going to be against the wall, and they're going to be coming here a little bit of a wounded animal, which can be dangerous. Laney, 26-10.
I'll take it.
2 touchdown win over the Ravens. Yeah, I'd definitely take that. No doubt. John C., 27-21. What did I say, 30-21?
Yeah.
Yeah, get Xavier Worthy back, man. Open some things up. Maybe get the running game going a little bit. I don't know. Big Doug got a score prediction. Has he put his prediction in yet? I don't know if I've seen his yet, but I don't know. Any other NFL news? Anything you wanted to talk about? Anything we missed?
No, man. No, not really.
Is that the end of Russell Wilson? Did the Chiefs' defense end his
I don't think
career?
he's going to get a starting spot anywhere else. I mean, do you?
Unless Jackson Dart gets injured or something. I mean, on the other side of that, yeah. Russell Wilson, man, had a hot start to his career. There's people saying now maybe he's played himself out of the Hall of Fame by sticking around too long. I don't know. He was not good with the Broncos. Remember that, like, when they went to the Broncos and everybody was like, oh, this is going to be the end of the Chiefs. The Broncos and Russell Wilson and the corny-ass Let's Ride with the green screen that they put out there for everybody so
Broncos
they can just
country.
put
Let's ride.
any background they wanted behind Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, man, I mean, you think he makes Hall of Fame?
I mean, he went to back-to-back Super Bowls. He was pretty close to winning back-to-back Super Bowls.
His coach would have just ran the damn ball with beast mode. Probably would have won.
Probably. I think he went the first 10 years of his career or something without having a losing season. I think yeah. I mean, I think we forget how good he was. I mean,
he was really good.
Yeah, like he did a lot of the Patrick Mahomes things, before Patrick Mahomes, as far as just his kind of escapability and being able to, get away and throw the ball and make plays with his legs. So I think so. I mean, based on other players I've seen get in, like,
Right.
I know that they've talked about that, like, kind of like tiers. Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer? I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, right? I think that's the tiers. But I think that, he's definitely, he has a spot in the history of this game. Him and the Legion of Boom, and just they were kicking people's asses there for a few years, man. And
they were really good.
He was really good. So
yeah.
All right, let's see. We got Dylan, 24-21 Chiefs.
Dylan got to give me heart attacks again,
Big
man.
Doug, 24-21 Chiefs.
Okay. A little bit closer than I got it. Chiefs, I think they're going to come out like a ball fire in this game, man. After losing the home opener, I guarantee you they don't like being home underdogs either. I guarantee you that's like on the bulletin board, right? The old proverbial bulletin board material, making them an underdog at home. Patrick is not gonna be happy about that.
It'll be interesting to see how defenses try to defend Thornton and Worthy if they're on the field at the same time.
Right. Yeah, Xavier Worthy, man. Looking forward to seeing that guy back out there on the field. If Nick Wright is right, no pun intended, Xavier Worthy should be returning to action. Then we've got a couple more games. We'll get Rashee Rice back. Chiefs offense, I think, is going to be looking sweet here in the not too distant future. We'll be back talking about the not too distant future. We'll be back next Wednesday, 8 o'clock. We talk about hopefully a win over the Ravens. Chiefs get back to 2-2. Maybe Jackson Dart can. Sometimes those rookie QBs, man, they can jump up and catch you off guard, right? How many times has that happened to the Chiefs? Guy making his first start or his first start in years or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Backup quarterback comes in because of injury and comes in and looks like freaking Bart Starr out there. He's got some weapons, and Scadaboo, you talked about him. He looked like a nice player. Malik Neighbors is a nice player. They got a pretty stout defensive line, the Giants do. So maybe the Chiefs can get to 2-2, and then the Chargers trip up here, man, be sitting at 3-1. Be right back in this thing. But we'll be back here next Wednesday to talk about it. Really appreciate everybody watching. And until next time, let's go Chiefs.
All right, let's go Chiefs.